What up, everybody? You are watching and listening to another episode of Blerd Empire. My name is Royce, co-host along with my father.
Sinbad.
Yes,
we're sitting here and
this one's a different episode. This is a different episode.
We usually talk about tech and what's happening in the world, and what's happening in the world right now than we've talked about COVID-19 and pandemic, but what's a bigger pandemic, bigger virus than what's happening now with all the marches and the police brutality and fires and this destruction of neighborhoods, but it's good and it's bad at the same time. And I actually have I got a little podcast I'm doing that's called Righteous Anger, Make Me Want to Holler. That'll be on Instagram Live. That's something different because I take it out there. I don't want to put my son in the line of fire because I take it from a very old. But also what we talk about, because we'll be coming on the joint. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. I took a shower, so maybe it's the fires. I don't know what it is.
It's hot, yeah.
So what we want to do, what Royce came to me about was, man, let's do something talk about the generations dealing with what I've seen, dealing where his generation's at, and now he has almost a 4-month-old son.
Yeah.
And we hope he gets to see, because what he has to see is not here yet.
No.
The hope what my parents hope for me and what my parents hope for them. Mm-hmm. We got, like James Baldwin says, how long do we wait? My mother's time, my father's time, my grandmother's time. When is enough?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you some questions, because I know sometimes I push y'all.
Yeah.
And I said, remember I told you, and I sounded kind of crazy. I said, man, there's a race war coming.
Yeah, I know. You've been saying it for a minute. And everything you were saying was justified. And I know a lot of your followers out there probably you were sounding crazy. Because even I remember just us, I know we were even getting on you like, oh, you've gotten very political.
Yeah.
Go back to the comedy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you knew what was happening. So it's crazy. And like you said, with my son, he's about to turn 4 months.
Yeah.
And just really I'm just really stuck, because obviously until 4 months ago I was always my mindset was always, I'm adult obviously, but I was always I was your son, I was the kid, and now I'm the father figure, and
it changes, right?
It changes
when you're responsible for a life and you fear for that life. You can become that father. They always talk about a mama bear. They always they always talk about mother bears and the maternal instinct, which is true. Fathers, especially who are involved, fathers who are there, we get downplayed. For how protective we are of our families, our children, our wives, our house. We don't talk about it as much. We're more like do. Mm-hmm. But inside of us, we get to that dangerous protection. I will take you out.
Right.
And I'm not a violent man in that way. I'm a man who's with righteous anger. I'm not a violent man.
Yeah,
but for that,
and that's what I'm learning now. Just obviously everything that's been going on with the news, this has been going on forever.
Yes.
For us.
Yeah.
But now seeing it from the perspective of a father, it hits so different now. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I really wanted to kind of do a different episode today. Honestly, I could care less what's going on with tech. I can care less what's going on in the film industry, gaming, all that stuff really does not matter. I mean, it is nice. Tech companies are finally starting to speak out.
You see, Apple's folk. You finally, although if you look at their workforce and you look who they hire, it's cool to say that, but look who you hire.
Yeah, and my whole thing is you spend all this money to put us in your commercials, to make yourselves look hip, so we buy your stuff. Yeah, that's why it was really, really important. With this being, an industry that I've always loved and cared about, both of us, and you got me on, into tech, but obviously how discriminating it is, even within that world where everyone at the top is white, and then we're lowered to either the creative team, or I said, we're the people dancing around,
or the celebrity, or with the music,
exactly,
it's
all that stuff. So that it was very important that they needed to speak up, because they're profiting off of using us to push their products.
Where's your voice? Where's your voice? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll give an example. When we say people fighting for each other, there was in the news, I don't know if you saw it, there was a police officer that got separated from the rest of the police officers. Mm-hmm. These young brothers surrounded him, protected him. Protected him so they wouldn't take the police officer out. So with all this craziness, our people still full of love.
Yeah.
We don't want what's wrong. Now that's not going to last long.
Yeah.
If you don't pay attention, that's not going to last long. And I don't know where the world goes after that, because that's going to be total anarchy. It's going to be crazy. But it shows you there's still hope.
Yeah.
So I look at the tech companies and everybody out there and all this crazy money, like, okay, let's go back to even what happened with COVID-19, all this money that was supposed to go for small businesses. 95% of the money did not go to black businesses. No. Once again, we got jacked. So it's not just about George Floyd being killed. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah. That was enough is enough. Yeah. And it blew up. Mm-hmm. And now I'm looking I know where I stand at 64 years old. I've seen this. I was born in the 50s. I've seen this over. I saw the 68 riots. I remember when King was killed. I remember Rodney King. I remember both Kings. And not just the ones we know. The brothers where there are no cameras that were taken down. When you drive by and you see it, and they're so menacing. When you look at how they look at you, when you look at sometimes people in authority, not just police officers, a boss, a corporate, you just walk in a building, in a room, and you feel it as a black man, and black women too. Our black women, our people of color. Yeah. But here's the problem. This is the dilemma we're left with. Were they judging me because of my color? Did they see my hair or what's my, so now I'm always like, my first thing, I got to go to racism. So I hate that my first feeling was that racist or was he just a jerk?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's that's a fine line as well.
You'll never know.
You'll never know.
You never know.
You'll never know. But obviously I want to do this episode, but I knew it was going to be hard to do.
Yeah.
But like I said, like transitioning into a father and dealing with these issues, because I came to you and asked you about it, and then I felt that it would be important to record this and talk about it just in case there's some other families, some new young black families
There's a lot of them out
who
there
are coming up and might not know how to address this issue.
Yeah.
But for me, like, honestly, I don't even know really how you did it growing up. I just knew, like, mentally, I was always aware of how the world was. Like, since I can remember, I don't remember a time where I was like, oh wait, wow, oh snap, racism. What's that? You saw it everywhere.
Every school you've been,
and you know, they might have to do something with like you were always on your Malcolm X, MLK, like every single day. So man. I think subconsciously, I just always knew everything.
Between me and your mama, we go to school and raise holy hell.
So for me, I don't remember an actual like sit down conversation we had about, okay, this is how the world's going to view you. This is what happens when the police stop you. I feel like that was just like built in to my DNA.
Yeah. Except for that time the police stopped us and we ended up being our friend playing a joke on me.
Oh yeah.
I said, watch this. I said, watch this. I had the phone ready. He walked up. I said, Johnny.
No, yeah,
man, my son said you. I said, dude. And he even said, really? And then he had to relook at himself and some of his friends. He said, man, I always thought that was bull. I said, yeah, because you deal with bad guys. You deal with bad guys and good guys, but probably more bad guys than good guys. But you probably treat the good guys until you find out they're good the same.
Right. Exactly.
The same.
So for me, I just really wanted to take this episode really just to be a sponge, soak it up, and then just hear what you have to say as far as like, especially in this generation we're in now, like what are the right steps that I need to take as a new black father to tell my son and prepare my son for how this world is and how it's developing. I mean, who knows where it's going to go from here. But yeah, because I just feel like this is really good to talk about because we know the bad that's happening. We know all the craziness that's happening. But I think these are the small conversations, not small, but these are the conversations that need to be had in the household, especially for new parents. So, yes.
I'll give you some, but then I think it's on you. I'm going to ask you what you want for your son. I can give you a few things. I would say this to you. First thing you teach your son is love. You got to teach your son to have love, no matter what's happening in this world. You got to teach your first to love himself. Oh, okay. You know, you love yourself, you love family, you love God. You got to I don't care if you don't believe in God. I know a lot of people now, especially young generations, turn away from God because so-called Christians have made us look stupid. I look at a lot of churches that got behind some things happening. I'm just going to say it, got behind Trump, but things they didn't believe in. Things that they don't even preach about. You know, and I'm sorry if this offends you. At some point, you kind of call a duck, man. People have hidden behind religion to kind of further what they want to do. So, but I say this, to get back, we're talking about, you got to believe in a power higher than yourself. Let me put it that way. Because if you think you're the end all be all, then that's the end of the world. That's the end of the world. No, if you think you're the last thing walking, the world's about you, that word entitlement, your son can never feel entitled. He can never feel that he deserves something.
Right.
You can never feel, I worked hard. Yes, you can work hard. I'm going to go after this, but I don't deserve anything. I'll go get it.
Right.
I don't deserve anything. I don't even deserve God's love. I don't deserve it. So if you can teach him to have empathy, which is different than sympathy. Oh, I feel, no, empathy means I feel, and if I can't feel what you feel, I'm gonna hold you.
Right, right.
But he also has to have righteous anger, indignation at things done to people less powerful than himself. He got to stick up for the kid getting bullied in school. You got to stick up for what's right versus wrong. Wrong is wrong. It's always wrong. His son also has to learn, I accept responsibility for everything I do wrong. Ain't nothing worse than a cat won't say I'm sorry. There's nothing worse than a person, a grown person, who can never say, I F this up. Because if you can say I'm sorry and truly mean it, you know, people forgive. And you can walk on and you can improve things. I'm gonna just give you the easiest word, man. I hate to say this to you. You don't want your son to be an asshole.
Right.
We all.
That's my biggest fear. That is my biggest fear.
You don't want to hear that. You hear about some kid, man, who's that asshole? That was your son.
Right.
Oh my God. I will not spare the rod on that one. You will not be that. You will not represent me, life, or anything being that guy. Yeah. So the main thing, and also I believe in learning how to fight. Now, I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even taking, when I say fight, I'm talking about the keto things. Learn how to protect yourself, because this is a cold world we live in. And for people to say, well, you know, I don't know. You need to know how to take care of yourself, even if it's to take care of somebody else.
Right.
You learned how, remember you started fighting, I said, I was so scared that something happened. I said, dude, I want you to know how to fight.
It changes you mentally.
It changes how you walk. If you learn to fight, you fight less. It's men sometimes they can't fight, they always want to fight. Or there's a guy who can fight with that crazy anger.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you know how to fight and you know how to control that fight, you're ready for most things, that confrontations that come your way, because you will have a confrontation at some point in your life. As a boy, you will have a confrontation. You have to check that and put it in check and end it and still be, hey man, you all right? You didn't know I was bad, but I'm a bad man.
Right.
So respect for women. Even sometimes, and I'm just going to say this, and me too might get mad, there are some women who didn't want respect for you. They treat you and they talk to you in such a way. Ladies, you need to know, there are women out there that talk to us in such a way, sometimes like, Jesus Christ, if you're a man, I would have knocked you out. But it's your job as a man to walk away. Right. It's your job as a man. No, I should, first of all, she was fine. I shouldn't try to date her. I shouldn't have walked up on her. So we have a choice to walk away. So unless a woman's got a hammer trying to hit you or pulling a weapon on you, walk away and realize that's not one I should be messing with. Right. So if you can do those things, be aware, be proud of being black. Be a black man who's proud. Don't anybody take that black pride away, but know that there's more than just us in the world. There's more than just being black people in this world. So I have to look at all races. I have to look at my Native American brothers. I have to look at my Asian brothers, man. I have to look at my Latino brothers. I have to look at my white brothers, because there are poor white families. There are poor white kids. There are people going through it, man. Yeah. There are people going through it. So I have to be able to get past the hatred of race and what it's done to me, so I still don't lose compassion. And your son can't lose compassion. So it's not this big thing. Learn to keep your hands on the car when the police stop you. That's basic defense technique. Right. Yeah. But sometimes I'm worse at that. But I'm a grown man. I'm like this. You know what? You have to shoot me today. Today is not the day. Today is not the day I comply. Right. Today is not the day. I mean, that's as a grown man, you make that choice. But he has to, more than, we're teaching our kids to, be careful with the police. More than that, I'm like, why are you stopping me? Right. And I have a right. I have a right to know. I'm not living in fear. I'll be aware. Yeah. Like if you're someplace, you're in war, you're aware. I won't live in fear. I won't live in fear. The only thing I fear is my God. The only thing I fear is losing control because I did something that I didn't think about. I fear hurting another individual, that doesn't deserve to be hurt. So if your son can have that compassion, that awareness, do you know he'll take care of all the races? Do you know if all kids were raised that way, there'd probably be no racism. Yeah. If you got that compassion and you got the empathy, you got the awareness, like I'm gonna judge a man on how he walks up on me. Yeah. And I'm not even gonna judge that. Sometimes some people just had a bad day. I remember my dad once telling me, give a man a second to show his true self, because you can tell the cat, look, man, I don't know why you hit me like that way, but I'm gonna take it that you had a bad day. Right. Whether it's a police officer stopped me with a lot of virtude, just a patrolling attitude. I'm like, yo, man, you know what? I don't know what happened today. I'm gonna take this ticket because I'm having a good day. You're not gonna mess my day up by me screaming at you and I gotta go on the ground, or you gotta go on the ground, or I get shot. So sometimes it's not, we got have him pick his battles.
Yeah.
You know, what's that serenity prayer? God, give me the ability to change the things. Let me be able to change things I can. Know the things God, what is it? Change the things I can. Accept the things I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest. What's the wisdom to know the difference? Maybe this thing. Remember, who was talking yesterday? Some things you face and keep facing. It might have been James Baldwin. Some things that you face can still not be fixed, but they still must be faced.
Right.
Just because you face something, you know, doesn't mean it'll be fixed. But we do know this: if you don't face it, it will never be fixed.
Right. So
if your son can learn, I take the hit. And I can learn to work with others. Sometimes even to hold back. Sometimes you got to let the least lead. You got to let the least. Yeah. Like I think your heart was like mine. I didn't have that. I'm not like Michael Jordan. I can't talk to you like that. I'm not built that way. I'm not here to destroy you. And I'm not saying his way is wrong, but his way is one way. I look at LeBron James. He has another way of looking how he can be tough on people, but cats said they like playing with him, you know, in a different way. Me, I'm more like this. I'd rather build you up, man. I'd rather, hey, man, hey, yo, bro, we can't do this. I'd rather build you up. There's a time to be tough, but I got to be tough every day. I ain't got to, you know, some fathers say I had to make him tough. I said, dude, no, he hates you. Well, he's ready for the world. You know, he might have been ready for the world if you gave him some love too.
Right.
It's like a dog. You can beat a dog, he'll obey, but you can tell a dog like, hey, he'll still obey. You know, so that's the thing. So that your son can grow up to be the man that you are. And we always want our kids to surpass us. Like I look at you and I said, even with the tech, I said, there was a time I could outdo you, man. And I finally, I'm gonna tell people, y'all, hey, I tell my wife, I can't out-tech him anymore. I gotta ask for help.
I will say though, because you still be dropping those gems.
Oh man,
because you'll be up till 5 in the morning.
I know, but look what it takes.
Researching 10 different companies.
I got to stay up to 5. You go to bed. I got to stay up to 5. Like I found one.
Right.
I found one.
But even with that, it's like. Because like I'll find a couple and be like, all right, cool, this is where I'm gonna stay. But like you will look at every single company. Because like for me, like I'll even, you know, I'll have that mindset for like a company, like their website, if it looks a little janky, I'll be like, nah, I ain't even bothering. You'll still look at that website. Yeah. Like, no. They do this one thing great though. And I'm like, oh wow.
And then I make notes on it.
Right.
These 5 things can do this one thing.
Exactly.
But the difference between you and me, you pick one and go do it. I almost cripple myself sometimes because I look at so many of them. Like today, I have to do another podcast, and now I'm just going to do it on Instagram. But I said there are 2 things I want to use. No, Wednesday I'm going to do it. I said there's 2 things I'm just going to use them. Yeah. Each time I use it, I'm going to do it. That's another thing. Your son, don't be scared of failure. Try it. Throw it against the wall. Yeah. Don't be married to anything early.
Yeah.
Try it. Let it go. Yeah. Try it. Let it go.
I'll
try it. Let it go.
You know, and for me, crazy hearing you say all this because, like I said, you never gave me this like grand speech about this stuff, but everything you're saying was like embedded in me by the way you walked, by the way you talked, the way you treated people. And I think that's like, one of the greatest things ever that just kind of like just turned on a light bulb for me because, you know, it doesn't always have to be just like one conversation or these conversations, but my foundation is built on how you lived your life, how my mom lived her life, to where you didn't even need to say anything. I just watched. How
you got aunts and uncles. You got aunts and uncles on both sides.
The entire family.
They're all like that. And I'm like this way. You need to thank your grandfather, who your middle name is named after, because he is that man. I watched him. Remember, don't do as I say, do as I do. Yeah. See, everybody trying to say something, but no, my father did. And you know how hard it is. I looked at my father, I said, I'm probably going to be half as good as him. No, I'm serious. It's like being a ball player saying, I'm never going to beat this guy, but I'm going to try.
That's why I'm trying to have this conversation so I could at least be half of what you did for me, because and I'll say this because, I know, you've gotten upset because of how Hollywood has treated you. You're whatever number on Comedy Central's trash list, all that stuff, despite, what the industry may have thought or put you in. For me, I'm actually glad that your career worked out the way that it did, because I believe that it kept us grounded, because it's like we were at that line, like we are at that line of Hollywood, but we never
that next level.
The next level.
Yeah, we live medium large. We didn't get the large. We got to like medium.
Exactly. And because of where your career was, we never crossed that line. But I think that helped all of us, I think, mentally, spiritually, because it helped us keep things in perspective. Because for me, just watching how you never sacrificed your integrity your entire career. You've never sacrificed your integrity on how they may have spoke to you, how you were saying, like, they painted you as, oh, you're hard to work with. Yeah. Sinbad won't do this. Sinbad won't say this line. Sinbad won't do that. If you felt like it wasn't right morally to do, or it put you in a bad light in whatever way.
Or if I just had something, sometimes I just had something better.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You did not let up, despite what that may have done for your career versus what what you've wanted to achieve. For me, like, I know obviously it sucked for you going through that because you were the one in it, but just know that for me as your son, and actually watching the result of how you carried yourself throughout all that time, for me, I'm glad it worked out that way, because I feel like it shaped me. I believe it shaped our whole family. And I think part of that, it also, now that it's embedded in me, it will help shape my son.
Well, you're great. I'm telling you something. I watch you and I'm tripping. I'm like, man, I just watched you with your son. I said, I remember because you get older. Goes, I remember that. I remember you being on the road with me. Remember you went everywhere, because at that time I was divorced, and I just went everywhere. I took the kids with me everywhere, and it's funny in that way. Like you said, I appreciate what you said, because there was a time I was angry, but I said, you know what? If I had been any bigger, because I never missed basketball games. I changed my schedule. Yeah. When you start playing ball, I never missed those. I never had to be on a movie set. Yeah.
Every single basketball game, which is ridiculous, because I was hurt. Literally 90% of my high school basketball career, I was injured with some type of knee injury.
Yeah.
But along with the rest of my family, with the family, even mom, working her crazy hours.
Yeah, coming to the church.
Corporate gig, her crazy hours. You guys showed up every single day, just literally just to watch me sit on the bench.
Grandpa come play.
Exactly.
And wait for that glimmer, get in the game for that moment.
And just showing up, even though for me it was embarrassing, because I'm like, all right, well, I'm appreciate everyone supporting me, but I'm literally not playing. But still, like, to know that, like, after the fact and looking back on it, like, that again is just more of something where you didn't have to say, hey, no, it doesn't matter if you're sitting on the bench, I don't think you ever said that to me, but me watching that is...
No, you once told me, you ain't gonna come. I said, no, man, no.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm gonna be there, man. This be the game you get 30.
Right.
This be the game you get 30, and I wasn't there, man.
Never had that game.
But man, I know you had moments though, bro. You had moments. I said, if they trusted him, but you know what? I watched it, and I got mad at God. I said, why are you putting my son through the very thing you put me through? My high school career, my college career, bad coach, knowing I got game. Everywhere else I played, but with my team. Right. Like you go everywhere else you played, but with your team, you killing people. I even had a couple, moments. I didn't want to be that father, because everybody was talking to the coach. Yeah. And I had a couple moments I talked to the coach, and I finally remember the last one. I said, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore with you. Yeah. You can't see what my son is. If you can't see what he means, I said, you just a bad coach, man.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to make a bad coach be good. He did this.
Yeah.
You're just a bad coach. And you might not even know that, bro. And I'm not even mad at you.
Yeah.
Because you can't see it. I'm trying to make you see something.
Yeah. And with that, I think that's what helped me handle that situation. And, not to dwell on my basketball career, because, I could have been one of the greatest of all time.
But that's all part of this.
Disproven.
That's all part of this, because you know what? There's a lot of black men out there without fathers. See, what we're talking about, I love when my white brothers and sisters, why would you burn down your own neighborhood? Well, why do y'all do what you do? Why do you rob your corporate America? Huh? Why do you steal money for you? You live in the world that you live in. That's why the white crime, your white crime is a little bit different than our crime, but you still do it. You still do it. So don't act like you're confused. The question wasn't, why do we have black on black crime? The question was just, why weren't you mad a long time ago
Yeah.
and what happens to us. And then we can have that conversation.
Yeah.
I'll have that conversation with you how we got to do better in our community. But why don't you get on your community so my community can act a little better? I'll police my side and you police your side, you know? And then maybe somewhere in the middle, we can get along a little bit better.
Yeah. And, I do want to touch on this one story because I think it's like a perfect representation of how just watching you and seeing pretty much just how you raised me just through your actions, I think really came into play. You know, we all know my elementary school, Faith Baptist.
Yes.
I have no problem saying their name. Faith Baptist. I went there for preschool, elementary school. But my 6th grade year, I had decided that I wanted to wear cornrows.
Yeah.
And I grew out my fro. I was really proud over the summer. I was like, all right, cool. It's time. I'm going to rock it. Let's do it.
Yep.
Got them braided, all that stuff, was excited. And I went to school, and Faith Baptist at the time was actually predominantly Filipino school.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
But it was run by some white people.
Yes.
By this one family. And they, I remember I was a part of, I forgot what the system was, but it was where you had to wear this vest and you actually helped parents drop off their kids. So you like, you wave the cars in, and like I wanted to be a part of that.
Yeah,
so bad.
I know you don't know why. It's like being a safety patrol.
Yeah,
I wanted that belt.
Yeah, so I wanted to wave people in. I wanted to open the door and let the kids out. And I remember, so I went to school, had my cornrows, and I was helping kids out and all that stuff. It was a normal day. But then this one parent, after I let their kids out, this one parent, she was white. She rolled down her window and like stared at me hard. And I remember in the moment, I was like, oh, she's going to say thank you. Okay, cool. This is great.
You expected the good.
I was like,
expected the good.
She literally looked me up and down and was like, the school lets you wear your hair like that? And I was like,
oh, that was Karen.
Right. We actually,
that was Karen. Oh, y'all, that's my girl, Karen.
Yeah. And she literally looked me up and down and was like, the school lets you wear your hair like that? And I was like, yes, because I remember I checked before I did it. Because the school in general had some crazy hair restrictions for black people in general. We couldn't do anything. But nothing, they said nothing about cornrows. Yeah. So I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And so after she gave me that look, she like drove off, and I kind of just stood there and I was like, nah, this can't be.
Did she just
this can't be the thing.
Yeah.
This can't be the
Here's
thing.
The moment. That was your first moment. That's your first moment.
And I was probably, what, like 7? 8, and probably like 8 at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, this can't be it. I was like, you know, it's whatever. I know it's a shock. A lot of people were looking at me a little weird while I had that. But went about my day. And then I believe it was the next day, I was called into the principal's office. And they brought me in. I remember they sat me down and they had it was literally the most awkward situation. Like I'm just sitting down. I'm just
you thought they brought drugs. You thought they were like dope dealers. Well, that's how they looked at it.
You would think
like you were dope dealers.
And they looked at me and they were just like, so Royce, we've noticed your, choice in hairstyle, and we just kind of wanted to ask you why you chose to do that. And I was like, because I wanted to do it. Yeah. It looks cool.
It was a style. It was a style I wore. Remember, we wore them in the 70s.
Yeah.
In the same way they looked at us.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yes. I was like, this is what I wanted to do. It's like I grow up my fro all year. Like I deserve this. I earned it. So they were like, okay, well, are you aware of what that hairstyle means? And I'm like, am I aware?
It means my forehead's tight.
It
means
like,
I get headaches.
I don't know. I was like, do you know something I don't know? And they're like, yeah, well, we we don't want to be the ones to tell you this, but we just wanted to let you know that, like, this is a sign of rebellion. And I was like, sign of what? For what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about rebellion?
Man, but they came up with it. What they came up with.
And I was like, what do you mean it's a sign of rebellion? And they were like, well, it's been documented that, that black people, when they were slaves, they used to put their hair in cornrows before. It was like a ritual that they would put their hair in cornrows before they went to rebel against their white masters. I tried to find that book.
So they were braiding hair at night. They got the picking cotton. So they went to the woman who's in another place. Yeah. Babe, we about to fight tomorrow. Put the braids in my hair.
And I remember I looked at I almost wanted to laugh because in that moment, I knew in that moment exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
It didn't hit me oh my goodness, I had no idea. I literally was in that moment. I was like, oh, this is the moment my dad has been preparing me for.
Yeah.
I know exactly how to handle this. And I told him, I was like, you have no idea what you're talking about. And they were like, excuse me? I was like, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. No. Now
you're belligerent.
Yeah, exactly. Now
you're belligerent.
So then I started pretty much getting in their face. I mean, I wasn't yelling or anything, but I was just trying to
you did what they hate from every black man, especially young black man. You gave them facts.
Yeah.
That disputed thirst.
Exactly. Pretty much I was trying to tell them you guys are stupid and racist without actually saying that. And so after that meeting, they were like, okay, cool. Long story short, I got called into the office. But then they
say also Allen Iverson.
Well, that's happened later.
Okay.
So I got called into the office numerous times after that, because then at that point, I'm like, okay, now I'm really not taking out my cornrows. So now from your rebellion, I learned my own rebellion. So literally,
I was so proud.
I made a stand.
His mom was so proud.
Not take out my cornrows.
I was so proud.
You were not going to scare me. They literally threatened to lower my grades, which they did. They lowered my grades.
Yeah, I forgot that.
And that in that moment, that's when I realized, honestly, that's when I could care less about the school system, because I'm like, if you're going to lower my grades because of how I look and what my hairstyle is, I could care less about your A's. Keep your A's. That means nothing to me. And so that started my rebellion against school. And mom might have a little different, feeling about that. Might have underperformed in some areas, but hey, look at me now. But so they kept calling me in, kept trying to convince me why my hairstyle was bad, and didn't reflect, the black community in the right way. So then one of their last meetings, they decided, I could picture them all gathering around,
how
can we get to it?
How do we prove this point?
I feel like somebody was like, oh wait, he likes basketball. We're gonna get him on this one. So then, they call me into the office again, and they sat me down, and they're like, Royce, so we just, we've been really thinking about it, and then, we were just thinking you like basketball, and I'm like, yeah, I like basketball, and they're like, yeah, well, really think about it. What great basketball player wears cornrows? And I was like, oh, you messed up. There's the one and only. AI,
it sounded like they were going with you. Like,
right,
we get it.
Exactly.
We get it now.
I'm like,
we get it now.
You messed up. The answer is the answer. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay, case closed. Can I go? And they're like, well, see, that proves our point. He's not a good person. And I was like, what?
There it goes.
I was like, do you know him?
He's the bad Negro.
Do you know what's going on? They're like,
the bad Negro.
So they use that against me, pretty much saying that Allen Iverson is a reflection of a bad black person because he wears
militant,
because he has tattoos,
defiant,
because he was rebelling against the NBA by his style and what he was doing. So they try to throw that in my face, and that's why I was just like, y'all messed up even further, because now I'm really not taking these out. Yeah, as long as I can. And so that was my first real experience of
we got it all worked out. We went to school. I didn't get a chance to say much because his mom went in so hard. I was like this.
Yeah, we didn't return. I didn't return that year. We left. But that was, for me, that was the first moment where I really experienced it. Like we were saying, systematic racism, for them at that young age, they wanted to control me. They wanted to mold me into how they felt a good Negro should be. And when I didn't want to be that or rebelled against it, it made them uncomfortable. So then they threatened me by ruining my grades, which, they were trying to say could ruin my college career. I'm like, y'all messed up.
You can't hurt nothing. It may see.
Y'all can't hurt me. But y'all messing with the wrong one. But again, it's watching you guys, watching my family, watching everybody being the proud black people that they were, that prepared me for that moment, because at not one point did I question if what I was doing was right or bad. I just knew in my heart and soul that this had to, I had to take a stand. Now, I'm not trying to say I had a life where I'm getting tossed by the cops and brutally beat up. No, I don't have experience with that. All I can do is speak on what I went through. Yep. And those are the things growing up where I was the only black person in my neighborhood dealing with these situations where they couldn't beat me because of where we were in life. They couldn't beat me, but they tried to control me. And they tried to make sure that I grew up in a way that was good for them.
Yeah, know that you don't belong. It's like this. What happens to entertainers and athletes and people that make money. Back in the day, you couldn't move out your neighborhood, no matter how much money you had. So the black neighborhood was rich, because you saw black people with money. You saw doctors, lawyers, dentists. All your people lived there. And then we thought we were moving on up to the east side. Finally got a piece of the pie. We're moving on up. So what happens, that song means a lot more than you realize. So you look at that, man. What happens is you're living in this neighborhood with the people that don't want you there, but you want a better life. So this is the conflict. I moved out of the neighborhood. You move out the neighborhood that you live in. You move to this new neighborhood. Yeah, I got a better house. I got a better neighborhood. Might be better schools, but is my life better? Is my emotional life better? Is my spiritual life better? Because now you're telling your son, hey, be careful, even go to school. Hey, man, are you going to date white girls? You're going to date black girls? You're having a conversation you normally would not have when you're living in your neighborhood. And not saying your neighborhood is great, because I remember some of my own brothers and sisters could be the craziest, but at least that's my people. I get it. I know what I got to do to hang around with it. Yeah. But now I'm in a world where you got white kids that say you're not black enough, because now rap is in, so they think they blacker than you because they live a certain way, and they called you what, Will Smith black? Like Will Smith was a race. See the dumbness that our kids deal with. Of course, I had to go up to the school, and I want to threaten children. It's not beneath me to threaten a child, And
it shows, because again, it's like, you can't explode, you can't blow up. Like, you have to constantly be in control, and constantly being in control makes you want to lose your mind. And so it was actually, it's one of those things where once I go to high school, and, there's only a handful of us, at the school. And it's like, you see those days when one of us walking around, and, we're distancing ourselves. We're kind of alone. We got that face where it's like, don't mess with me today. Yeah. And it's like, that day. It's those moments where you can, I can look at that other black student and be like, I know what's going on. Yeah. Like,
I know where you're at right now. I know where you're at right now. And sometimes some black students have to find out the hard way, and then they come back over to you like this. You thought you was better, right? Right. So now that you found out what's happening, you find out what color you were. Yeah. That's another hard thing to explain to white people when we say somebody in black. We say that's really just for family, because you don't understand it. When we say somebody in black, we ain't saying they don't have black skin. We ain't say they can't be black in America. There's an attitude, not that we all have to be, not that Kanye West bull crap, where he goes like, y'all ain't gonna make me, so you decide to vote for Trump because you're gonna just show I'm doing nothing that black people do. I don't care if it's detrimental to us, that's stupidity. So he decides, you're not gonna make me be a Democrat. Here's the falsehood about that. Black folks don't just give Democrats their vote. There's just nobody else worthwhile to vote for. So let's get something straight. I got these straight up racists over here, but I got this somewhat racist over here as a Democrat. Yeah. So I got this straight up racist over here, and I got this somewhat racist. I got this, like, Killer Mike talking about, we got two slave masters here. But you know what? I can deal with that. I'm gonna take this slave master park. At least I can get inside. I can't even get inside of here because they just show me the hatred they have for me. So when Kanye said, you're not gonna make me vote, nobody said you had to vote Democrat. Because I'm not a Democrat. I'm looking for the best choice I can make. Yeah. Rarely, ever, never. They keep going back to Lincoln. Look how far white people got to go back to the party of Lincoln. And if you really wanted to understand, there's a book out, man, about Lincoln. What he really wanted was to send us back to Africa. He used racism to end the war, but everybody thought we would just go back to Africa. That's another book. We'll talk about it in another day. So when you start talking about those things, once again, if these aren't things that's taught in school, if this is not history, it's like we're always trying to re-educate people to what happened. And after a while, it's frustrating, because if a person doesn't want to be educated, remember I talked about your son, keep his mind open. Yep. Don't trust everything, read it. And if you read that, read another one. And after you read that, now they get you thinking everything's false. Yeah. False media. Well, something's right. Yeah. Some people dying from COVID. If someone tells you go in your house because there's a hurricane coming, you gotta believe somebody somewhere. When the klaxon goes off, there's gotta be somewhere there's some truth in there. But now it's easy to like, man, it's all fake. I'm gonna get my hair cut. Go on. Matter of fact, I wish y'all all moving to one place. So when we look at my son, now what do you want for your son? After seeing what you've seen, what do you want for your son?
Literally, everything that you were able to give me to, like you said, to walk life with faith and love and thoughtfulness and with pride in everything that he does. Be proud that he's black. Be proud that he's a black child that'll grow up to be a black man, so then he can raise his family to be proud. And to never, I mean, like I said, I always go back to my biggest thing is like, you never gave up your integrity. No matter what.
That's all you have. That's all you have. That's all you have.
And, you know, and it's like, you know, I don't want to put anybody on blast, but all the people you've helped in the industry, all the comedians that you helped put on, you know, even though they might not want to say it or, you know, or do anything about it or whatever, but like you've done so much, and despite people never giving back what they should have or ghosting you or whatever, you still, you know, I know like you would get angry about it, but you still never let it, you know, change you or change who you are on the inside. So for me, that's the biggest thing, is that for him to walk life with, you know, with all those lessons, but no matter what, not let anything shake him, not let anything shake his integrity, to always walk in faith and with confidence. Yeah. Because that, again, like going back to that story in elementary school, like that was a defining moment in a sense where I realized that how you lived your life affected how I was going to live my life. So that's just what I want to be able to provide for him. Well,
I'm proud of you. I'm tell you something. I'm proud of you. I now understand how my father felt when he would go to games. Uh-huh. I'm gonna tell you, when I was in high school, after every game I played, before I went out with my friends, I went home, talked to my dad. And my dad was never like, hey, he said, man, how'd you feel? What do you feel like? Even win or loss, what'd you feel? What do you feel? I remember once I said to him, man, I could have done better. He goes, no, that's not true. My grandfather said the same thing. If you could have done better, you would have. Yeah. Otherwise, it makes you cheat yourself. You did the best you could do for that time. Yeah. Now you improve upon it. Right. You say, now go have fun. So it's not always about winning. So we talk like Michael, it's always about winning, always about winning, always about winning. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the lesson is in the loss too. And Michael took loss. Yeah. You know, Black people have been taking L's and taking L's. But at some point, if I'm taking the L, but I score more points than you, if I take an L, but you change the score at the end of the game, now I'm like this. Right. You know what? Yeah. y'all got one more time. Right. It's like watching a basketball game where you keep fouling the wrong cat. Mm-hmm. And he said, you got one more time to put hands on me. Yeah. And then we go, oh, did you see him fight? I said, but what about the last 2 seasons where everybody was out to push him and touch him and do everything? So everybody sees the explosion. So what's happening in America right now, everybody's seeing the explosion. But you know, this wasn't just a shot that fired. Somebody just loaded a gun and fired. It took time, like, hey man, what? Do I need to go get a gun? Yeah. And you taking hits. Oh, let me go. You go get the gun. I'm not gonna get any bullets yet. Oh, the killer. Oh, let me put some. I'm not gonna put the clip in the gun. And you go, oh, let me put some clip in the gun. But you got the gun. I'm not gonna bring it with me. I'm not gonna bring it with me. And then one day I'm bringing the gun with me. And then today, pow! They're like, it's like watching a bully. And the master bully is watching Trump. He throws stuff out. I look at some of the people that as soon as you smack them back, it's almost. I've said, dude, that's the biggest punk ass move. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's the biggest punk ass move in life that you can't take what you dish out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So right now it's coming back full force at people. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping this is not the way it ends. Right. I pray this is not the way it ends, but it's going to be like this for a minute. Yeah. It's going to be like this for a minute. And what's got to happen, like, you know, with you and your son, that righteous anger. I'll be slow to anger, but when it comes, let my anger be righteous. Yeah. When my anger comes, let it be righteous and let me do the right thing. Look, there's a way to punish without destroying. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm looking, man. If I destroy you back, you have every right to destroy me. You have every right to destroy me. So my thing is, I'm proud of you. I know I'm not worried about, I ain't worried about how good a father can be, but I pray that when I'm an old man, that my grandson says, so they didn't let you have stuff because you were Black. Grandpa, that don't make no damn sense. Right. I know. You know? I know. Yes. I live for the day that young Black kids, you know, like I say, King said, judged by the content of the character, not the color of the skin. Yeah. I don't know if this country can do it. I don't know. You know, what does it mean when you say you're American? What is it to be an American? And now here's the dilemma that Black people are left with. What does it mean for me that you had to write an amendment into the Constitution to make me a whole man? I have issue with that. And a lot of my Black friends fight me on it. I don't respect that amendment. I don't give a damn if it's not in there because you can't enforce it. It's like if you take it out, am I still less than a man? You have no right to name me a man, to make me a man. That's my inalienable right. Has nothing to do with America, Europe, any place else. You have no right to give me permission. That's what that is. The amendment is a permission. So I know what? Revoke it.
Yeah.
Take the crap out. Take that bull crap out. Shouldn't even be in there. You had no right. You had no right to make me less than a man.
Yeah.
Some things I just have, it angers me. Like the Voting Rights Act. I wish you would take it away and try to stop me.
Yeah.
Huh? We'll burn that. Don't. I'm serious. That's what it would take.
Yeah.
If you tried to stop us from voting next time, then no one votes.
Yeah.
Then no one votes. That's how it's got to be with my white brothers and sisters, my Latino brothers and sisters, my Asian brothers and sisters, my Native American brothers and sisters. And they're going through hell right now. Guys, if you could check in on some of our Native American brothers and sisters in the reservations with COVID, we don't even talk about that fight. We don't even talk about that plight. We don't deal with that plight. Yeah. That's a topic. We're talking about as black men in America, how we drive around. This was their world. Mm-hmm. This was their world. This belongs to them.
Right.
To them. We're just leasing land.
Right.
Leasing land. And that one breaks my heart and makes me so angry. And the average American just go into pavilions or to the grocery store and mad because they got to wear a mask.
Exactly.
I have a right to die. You damn straight you do.
Yeah.
You're damn straight you do.
That's why it's like this fight is not just a black fight.
No, it's not.
It's for all of us.
Yeah.
Equality for all.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So
that's why we got to band together.
Yep. So the father, son, grandson. It's like that picture I have of me, you, and Grandpa.
Yes.
Yeah. I wish I could see this picture. Maybe you can bring it up. You can bring it up. It's It's Royce looking straight in the camera, and my father and I had a basketball game at my old high school, and Royce is like he was ready for a world that was coming. It was crazy. He's looking right in, like I have no fear. He's like
in 2020.
He's right in the man's lens.
Go down.
He's right in the lens. I said, that's a powerful picture. I was going to try to reenact it, but you shouldn't react it. You can't.
Yeah, no, I think that's.
I don't want to reenact it. It's got to be a real moment somewhere.
Something else. Yeah,
it'll happen.
Yeah,
it's got to happen on its own.
Yeah,
that organic thing.
Yeah, but
maybe when I'm drooling and he's wiping my face. And you're like on the catch your grandfather.
I know.
Falling out to the chair. So maybe that's it.
Exactly.
No, I ain't gonna be that. I'm working. Look, man, I'm back working out. I'm trying to live. Yeah. I'm trying to live because I hope to see that day.
Yeah.
I'm living so I can see the other side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man. Well, thank you so much for all that wise advice. And
thank you, man. I learned. I want you to know right now. It's like with my dad. It was strange when it flipped with my dad. He was asking me questions.
Yeah.
But also. It broke my heart a little bit.
Why?
Why? Because I knew more than my father. And something. But no, my father became then wisdom man.
Oh, yeah.
Now I might knew my dad, I used to all of his ink pens and all his technology. And I would take the tubes out the TV because he could do all that stuff. But at the end, he became, when I was going through something, he still was my wise sage. Right, he was my wisdom man.
Yeah.
He was still, but remember, he could still outdive me. Remember, he was what, 50? 40s and 50s?
Oh, yeah. No,
diving it.
Bench pressing, all that stuff.
Come on, man.
Was a beast. So, yeah.
So maybe I didn't outdo him.
Yeah. I know. I hope I have that longevity because he was.
Woo, God. Yeah, he was helping Michael do the basement in his house. I said, I can't do that.
Yeah. No, thank you, though, for just literally just for how you chose to live life because, that's the part that, like I said, despite on how you wanted your career to be, it paid in tenfold because of how it affected me and how I saw the world. So for that, I say thank you.
I thank you, my son, for also being receptive. All sons aren't receptive to the fathers. Mm-hmm. Even in the Bible, some sons kill their fathers. Mm-hmm. And it means so much to, sometimes I don't want to say too much, like I'm trying to learn. Sometimes like me and my daughter are almost alike. Mm-hmm. We're like, we'll butt, bam, 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 we'll butt heads sometimes. But I realize I need to shut up.
Yeah.
I need to shut up and let them go. And if it is going in the wrong direction, let them hit the wall. My dad used to say to my mother, let them hit the wall, hit the wall, hit the wall. I'll be there to help and guide because people don't have to get everything. Your kids don't have to get everything you say. Your kids don't have to do everything. I'm trying to tell her that once your kids I'm talking about like 9, 10, 11, 13 years old. You got to let them have a little more autonomy.
Yeah.
And do it. Yeah, I told you do because I told you, no, you got to make sense to them. And you want them to push. You want them to be disrespectful, but you want your children to push. Like my youngest daughter, Rachel, went to the march in Arizona, in Phoenix. Yeah. And I didn't tell her not to go. Mm-hmm. I just said, are you willing to accept you might get tear gassed? Yeah. You might get hit. So it's not cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because she's militant. If you want to go, go. But we ain't going because we're cute.
Yeah.
Because it can get ugly out there. But as long as you're fighting the good fight, then you go.
Yeah.
And you march.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. Again, thank you. And then, we're going to put some links, places you guys can donate and, be a part of, help support. Mm-hmm. So we'll have a whole list of that, of some places that we think are good to kind of, if you're wondering, anybody's watching this and you're wondering, like, how can I get involved?
And leave us your comments.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. I mean, the racist ones, it's really a waste of time. We don't get angry, all that. You know what? I've heard the N-word. I've heard nigga so much in my life from y'all. It doesn't even faze me. Yeah. Especially if you're not in my face. Yeah. So if you think it's going to faze me, or if you do the whole, you liberal or you whatever, y'all a libtard, whatever the word y'all use, it don't mean nothing to me. It means nothing. So you have to come up with new insults because I have new ways of talking. So you need new insults.
Exactly. And before we go, I also want to share this artwork by this one artist on Instagram. Her name's Ariel. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Apologize if I'm not. But she did this artwork. Pull it up here. Ahmaud, Breonna, and George Floyd. This, I don't know. It just like the way the design and it pops, and like there's her Instagram. If you guys want to check out her page, I don't know. I just saw it on my timeline, and I just had to throw it out there because I thought it looked really, really, really dope.
And if you look at it, that these are faces that their parents and their families will never see again.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here, we're marching for them, but when this is all done, these are people that their families will never see again.
Right.
Ever.
And that's just 3.
Yeah.
3 of countless others.
And the ones without the camera.
Yeah,
and then the ones without the camera.
We react to what we've seen, but this is just America. This is American history. Yeah. This is literally embedded in America's soul. So hopefully that can change through all this. Maybe coronavirus had to come in order for this to happen.
There's no coincidence in life. Yeah. This is no coincidence that while this pandemic was going on, that this is going on. It's like, because we're all home. Remember, it'd be different if something this jumped off, and we all could have got out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you see how crazy this could have jumped off if everybody could have just jumped out there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot crazier. Yeah. But, thank you guys.
Thank you so much
for watching and listening. Another episode of Blerd Empire. You can follow us Instagram,
everything.
Blerd Empire, whatever.
Blerd Empire, but you'll catch us.
Yeah. But again, comment, let us know what you guys think, and let us know if there's anything that like you guys are kind of struggling with as far as communicating your kids. Are there any new Black parents out there where maybe this helped you, or there's some other questions you might have? This guy, he has them all.
Well, I know where the answers are. I'll go get them. What I am curious about right now, because I'm seeing some things online I never saw before. I saw this young brother, a few couple brothers say, "Hey man, I'm biracial, so I've never been black." I'm like this. Look like a black man, sound like a black man, probably got a black father. So he says, I'm not black, I'm biracial. And I'm saying, brother, the only way to tell what color you are is to speed and roll your window down so I'm not getting out the car.
Right.
And your color will be determined for you at that moment.
Exactly.
At that moment.
Yeah, sad truth. But again, thank you guys again watching, listening, Blerd Empire. We'll catch y'all in the next one.